Ew, tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night, Robert versus Ikram, and this one right here is for final thoughts, man. We lost yet another fight, another banger in my personal opinion, but we've lost quite a few bangers in my personal opinion to this fight card. The universe can be a bitch. You feel what I'm saying to you? Um, Jackson versus Basharat, that was going to be a banger. I was looking forward to that. Even Jackson versus Nurmagomedov, I was looking forward to that. Shit, Magomedov versus Potiera, I was looking forward to that. Whittaker versus Chimaev, I was looking forward to that. And now the Muhammad versus Melsik, I was looking forward to that. But we are still left with quite a few good fights on this card, man. Minus the couple that have the UFC debuters that I really want nothing to do with. You know what I mean? That is the first fight of the night. Long versus Chang. That is a complete pass for me still. For all the reasons I stated before, they're both making their UFC debuts. They're both coming off the road to the UFC. Neither one of them have really faced a great level of opposition. Nothing really stands out, you know, in their resumes on either side, anywhere, spectacularly. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with that being said, they're making their debuts against each other. How am I to gauge where their ceiling may or may not be inside the UFC based off of performance against each other? They need to move forward and perform against a higher level of competition that's already inside the UFC, of UFC caliber, for me to be able to go ahead and engage where they may or may not be, where their ceilings may or may not be. You understand what I'm saying to you? I can't get much off of this fight other than entertainment. So I'm going to sit back, watch it. It should make for a good fight, and hopefully it kicks off the night in spectacular fashion, man. Long, 26-1 against opposition with combined records of 154 wins, 110 losses. And like I said, nothing stands out in that resume to me, personally. You understand what I'm saying to you? On the other side, 9-1 with Chang against opposition with combined records of 38 wins and 12 losses. And again, there's nothing that stands out in that resume. You understand what I'm saying to you? That catches my eye in any way, shape, form, or fashion, man. So I'm looking forward to see, you know, how these two young gentlemen kick off the fucking night. You feel me? And hopefully it's a good fight. But I highly recommend everybody just do what I'm doing. Watch it. See how they perform against each other. And then see how they perform moving forward in their next fight against whoever they're, you know, put up against. And then maybe you'll be able to get somewhat of a feeling of what kind of ceiling they may or may not have, depending on who they match them up with next, because they may match them up with another, you know, Contender Series alumni, road to the UFC, or looking for the fighter motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying to you? So you still may not be able to gauge, you know, where they are in their career. You know what I mean? Until they're a few fights into the UFC. So it's a complete pass, man. Dumas versus Tulen is still Dumas for me. Most likely to get this one done via unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1. I would not be surprised if he found a submission in there, if he was able to get Tulen to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Work his way to his back and sink in a fucking choke, get it done inside the distance. I kind of would be surprised if he clipped him on the feet and knocked him out. If he finishes it, I see it being by submission. But I do like Dumas to get it done by decision. You know what I'm saying? Third fight of the night, that's still a pass for me. That's the boy Magomedov, that I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to chop it up, versus Roberio. I don't really know how to pronounce his first name, so I'm not going to chop it up. Roberio is an individual that I still don't feel like necessarily belongs inside the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with that being said, he's got an undefeated opponent, 8-0, standing across from him, that I can't necessarily gauge where his ceiling may or may not be inside the UFC based off of a performance against Roberio. You understand what I'm saying to you? If he's able to beat Roberio in his UFC debut, that may very well be his ceiling inside the UFC, and he may lose every fight afterwards. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with that being said, you know, who's to say that he doesn't lose to Roberio? His 8-0. I believe he's 8-0, and that's against opposition with combined records of 25 wins and 14 losses, man. You understand what I'm saying to you? He should be 8-0. He should be undefeated. And he should have finished every last one of those individuals. Combined records of 25 wins and 14 losses. You should have an O next to your name. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, Roberio, there is nothing spectacular about this young man. And I have not liked anything I've seen from him in or outside of the UFC. Just my personal opinion. But with that being said, he does have the experience. His 15-6 is up against opposition with combined records of 158 wins and 75 losses. So he has the experience. Not so much so the experience of being up against a higher level of opposition, because if you give, you know, old boy that many more fights, the level of opposition may look exactly the same, being as though his 8-0 is against 25 and 14, and his 15-6 is against 158 and 75. You understand what I'm saying to you? It may look exactly the same when he gets to, you know, those, you know, that 15 fights under his belt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nothing on his resume stands out, in my personal opinion, and I'm not exactly sure where, if anywhere, he's going to separate himself from Roberio to justify being a favorite. You understand what I'm saying to you? Complete pass for me, man. The boy Munin versus Kang. I'm still rocking with Kang. Not sure if he's still an underdog right now. Not sure what that money line's looking like right this second. You feel what I'm saying to you? But I like him no matter where it's at. You know what I mean? And I loved him at plus money. So, yeah, it's Kang, man. With all due respect to the boy Munin, man, the body of work of Kang is very consistent. That is one thing that you can say about that man, and one thing you cannot take away from that man. He is very consistent with his body of work. It's not a spectacular body of work, you feel what I'm saying to you, but it's solid and it's strong absolutely everywhere, in my personal opinion, and it's strong and solid enough to go ahead and secure this victory on Saturday. I'm not high on the other side in Munin. Nothing really impresses me about him or his body of work. You feel me? The level of opposition that he's been up against, anything in his resume, nothing really sticks out to me. Kang on the other side, man, he hasn't been up against a higher level of opposition for a hell of a lot longer. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he's been able to stay right here. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he, you know, he can hang with the best of them up there in the top, you know, in the top tier, you know, of this division. But he's very, very much Rafael dos Santos and Neil Magny-esque. You understand what I'm saying to you? Gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see how you perform against this young man to see what we're going to do with you moving forward. And unfortunately for Munin, they're going to have to find something else to do with them moving forward, because Kang's taking this victory. Renat versus Nicholas, I'm still on Renat to go ahead and get this one done any which way he wants to. Whether he knocks this man out, whether he takes this man to a decision, whether he drags this man out and submits him. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's with all due respect to Nicholas Darby, his body of work, his resume, and the level of opposition that he's been up against. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's just outgunned everywhere in this fight, in my personal opinion. It's a bad fucking matchup for him, man. Nazrat versus Jarrett. I'm still on Jarrett, man. I am still on Jarrett. And I'm on him till the wheels fall off, man. That's my guy, you know what I mean? Nazrat's going to have to come out there and make me a believer. He's not going to have the volume. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's not going to have the power. I don't necessarily know if he may have the speed. Like this, the Nazrat's only advantage in this fight may be the speed. I will give absolutely everything else to Jarrett, man. He can crack too. You understand what I'm saying to you? They might be neck and neck with the pop. You know what I mean? Neck and neck with the power. And with that being said, I'll edge it to motherfucker. I'll edge it to Jarrett's side. I'll edge that grit, that dog, that heart, that soul, that fight. I'll edge all that to Jarrett. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he's not, you know, he's far from an unintelligent motherfucker inside that octagon, man. His IQ is on point. And when this young man shows up and gets that game plan going, oh, man, he can be a problem for anybody, man. Not taking anything away from Nazrat, man. You know what I mean? He got a little speed. He don't got a whole lot of pop in his shots, but he got a little bit of speed, man. You know what I mean? He can mix some things together, but Jared can mix it together better, man. In my personal opinion, Jared is better absolutely everywhere, and it's going to show on Saturday, man. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily believe he deserves some of the decision losses that he's taken. You understand what I'm saying to you? But with that being said, his losses, his wins, his whole resume, more so respectable in my personal opinion than Nazrat's. And I got Jared taking this one 2-1 by unanimous decision 9 times out of 10. You understand what I'm saying to you? And there's a night where he gets it done inside the distance, man. It's a night where he catches this man on his back foot, hurts him, and then goes in for the finish, whether it's via KO, TKO, or submission. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, Jared ain't no chump. He's nobody to be slept on. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he is well prepared for this matchup. So, I like him, man. And I love him at dog money. You know what I mean? And this with all due respect to Nazrat. He's not anybody who I've been real high on ever at all throughout his career. You understand what I'm saying to you? You know, he can rock with some of them. You know what I mean? Jared's gonna give him a motherfucking run for his money though and secure this victory. And we got Magomedov, my bad, versus Lutterbuch. You know what I mean? I'm good, man. This is a complete pass. I want absolutely no smoke with Lutterbuch, man. You know what I mean? I'm leaving Lutterbuch the fuck alone, man. Magomedov's not somebody that I myself am real high on. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's another individual who, at 12-0, in my personal opinion, it's just inevitable. It's inevitable that O is going to go. It's just about who's going to take it from him and when's it going to happen, and is Lutterbuch that guy? You understand what I'm saying to you? Is Lutterbuch the one that's going to take that O from him? You feel what I'm saying to you? Because somebody's going to on his way on up through the rankings. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is not somebody who's going to go undefeated, you know, on his way to the title, claim the title, and go undefeated on a run in this division in any way, shape, form, or fashion, in my personal opinion. So it's just about when will that O go and who's going to take that O from this young man, and is Lutterbuch the guy to do it on Saturday? You know what I mean? Oh, man. Lutterbuch, man. Let's talk about Lutterbuch, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I keep saying Lutterbuch. I hope that's how you say this motherfucker's last name. If it's Lutterbuch or some old other shit, and I'm just fucking his shit up for shits and giggles, that's a motherfucking shame. And my bad, man. But let's talk about Lutterbuch. Because outside of MMA, you know, and mixed martial arts, we're at 38-10. The young man has fared well. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's very active, man. He's very active in combat sports. You know what I mean? Kickboxing, karate, Muay Thai, boxing, all while competing in MMA. So he's keeping himself very active. So he's not a chump by any means, and he's nobody to be slept on. Now, are there a couple losses in there that I don't necessarily like and think that young man should have? There are. You know, he lost to Alex Oliveira way back when in the early, way 10, 11 years ago, something like way back when, you know what I mean, when he was first starting out, not long into his career, early into his career, he lost to Alex Oliveira, you know what I mean, via unanimous decision. Now, he got that one back via arm triangle choke submission, you know what I mean, sometime later, but he did take a loss via unanimous decision to Alex Oliveira. This ain't Alex Oliveira from, the last few years, though. This is Alex Oliveira, 10, 12 years ago or whatever, you know what I mean? With that being said, it was still Alex Oliveira, though, and he took that loss via unanimous decision, but he did get it back via arm triangle choke submission, you know what I mean? He got another loss to Clay Collard, man, that I'm not necessarily happy with, you know what I mean? I don't really think that's cool, you feel me? But it is what it is. I ain't mad at him for losing to Carlson Harrison or Drakus Duplessis. You understand what I'm saying to you? And there's a couple other losses on his resume that I can't really harp on this young man about. And with that being said, he has 38 victories, man. You know what I mean? And out of them 38 victories, I think like 14 of them are knockouts and some 15 of them are submissions, and the rest of them are decisions. You know what I mean? He's only been knocked out once, twice, something like that. He's never been submitted, I don't think. Lost the rest via decision. Maybe he's been submitted once, something like that. But I mean, 38 and 10 is a pretty respectable 38 and 10 run, man. It's not too bad, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You feel me? Against opposition with combined records of 350 wins and 186 losses, you know what I mean? The experience of combat inside the cage, whether it's kickboxing, karate, whether it's Muay Thai, it's boxing in the ring, you understand what I'm saying to you, or it's been mixed martial arts for 49, almost 50 fights, going into his 50th fight. You feel what I'm saying to you? The man is very experienced, and he's a big motherfucker, man. I believe he possesses the reach advantage in this fight too, and with that being said, you know, he's got a well-rounded game, man. You know what I mean? In 50 fights, for somebody who likes to stand up and strike, he's had that takedown defense tested quite a bit. You know what I mean? He possesses the reach advantage. He possesses the experience advantage as far as MMA is concerned, and you would, you know, like to go ahead and venture to say just as far as combat sports are concerned, period. You understand what I'm saying to you? But with that being said, man, that always got to go. That is inevitable. I think we all know that. It's just about who's going to take it and when will it happen. And is Lutterbuch that guy? You know what I mean? I'm not fucking with this fight. It's a complete pass, but I will be tossing Lutterbuch on the end of a couple parlays, man, just because. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to toss my parlay in, and I'll toss that same parlay in and toss Lutterbuch on that motherfucker. I won't toss a parlay and put Magomedov in there. It'll only be a dog or pass as far as parlays are concerned. Like, I'll have my little 8-legger or my 7-legger, boom. Or I'll have my little 5-legger or my 6-legger, boom. And then I'll just I'll do the same thing and attach Lutterbuch onto it. So if that joint hit, you know what I mean? When that joint 5-legger hit, fuck whatever happened in that Lutterbuch and Magomedov fight. If motherfucker Lutterbuch end up being that guy and come through, then that big plus number can be next to, you know, slapped onto the parlays too. You feel me? Like, that's the only way I'll touch this fight. I'm not fucking with Magomedov versus Lutterbuch unless it's a dog attached, you know, a dog leg attached to a parlay. Calvin versus Daniel, man. It's still Calvin for me, man. It's still Calvin for me to get this one done via unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was 3 rounds to none by somebody in there, if not everybody in there. You understand what I'm saying to you? And that's if Calvin doesn't find a way to get it done inside the distance, man. It's crazy to say it, but for as long as Calvin's been around, man, you understand what I'm saying to you, and fighting at a high level, this young man is still just in his prime. You know what I mean? He is still just in, like, the Calvin we see on Saturday may very well be the best version of Calvin Gastelum that we've ever seen, man. I'm a firm believer in Calvin, man. This kid just keeps getting better, man. This young man just keeps getting better. And when he steps inside that cage, the same can be said. He just gets better as the fight goes on. If you do not get that young man up out of there earlier, he can prove to be a fucking problem for the rest of that motherfucking time. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, once he gets going and once he gets flowing, he's a fucking problem for absolutely anybody, man. You know what I mean? And I know he's only 4-6 in his last 10 fights inside the UFC, but go back and look at the level of opposition he's been up against, and then go back and look at the motherfucking division he was in, and look at where he's at now, man. You understand what I'm saying too? Like, the motherfuckers this man's used to fighting, the Jared Cannoniers, the Israel Adesanyas, you understand? The Robert Whittaker, like the big boys this man's used to fighting up there in that division. Now, you know what I mean? When he's here with the Daniel Rodriguez's, man, like, come on, man. This is just, there's levels to this shit, in my personal opinion, and Daniel still has a whole lot to fucking prove, man. And it's my guy. I fuck with him, and I hate to say it, but he not ready for Saturday, man. He is not ready for what this little motherfucking tornado is going to do in there, man. The movement, the mobility, the agility, man. Like, I got respect for Daniel Rodriguez, man, and his abilities and his game. You understand what I'm saying to you? But Calvin Gastelum, he's just going to outclass him, man. He's going to outwork him. He's going to out-volume him. He's going to outland him. He's going to outpoint him. He's going to outdo him in absolutely every aspect of the game throughout the course of 15 minutes. And if a finish presents itself, he'll jump on it. But if it doesn't, he'll just do good work for 15 minutes, man. Sergey versus Alexander, man. And I like Alexander. You know what I mean? I like Alexander. I've won nice bits of money fucking with Alexander when I do put him in parlays. It's heavyweight MMA. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's a stay away for as far as a main parlay. You know what I'm saying? But I do lean with Sergey to get this one done, most likely by KO, TKO, somewhere inside of round 1. I don't see Alexander Volkov being able to get any wrestling or grappling going in that first round. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with that being said, I see him getting knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? See him getting, and Alex doesn't do a whole lot of getting knocked the fuck out, man, or getting choked the fuck out. He usually loses by decision. I mean, he's very well-rounded. He's very fucking solid, and he's very fucking strong absolutely everywhere. He's got good grappling. He's got good wrestling. He's got good striking. He's got good distance management. He can control his range. He's got good takedown defense. He's got good submissions. He's got good submission defense. He's got good offensive and defensive, just about everything inside that octagon. You know what I mean? I just don't know if he's going to be able to get it go. His frame and his build. Tom Aspinall, John Jones, Curtis Blades. Now, I know he got past Curtis Blades, but so did Derek Lewis. And if you put Derek Lewis in there with Curtis Blades again, Curtis Blades is going to dust him off the next couple times. You understand what I'm saying to you? In my personal opinion, you put Curtis Blades in there with motherfucking Sergey again, he's probably going to get him the fuck up out of there the next couple times. And, you know what I mean, at that time, and then win that rubber match. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's just my personal opinion, man. But Volkov, and I say that because I feel like, you know, they'll be able to, Aspinall can get the takedowns. John Jones can get the takedowns. Motherfucking Curtis Blades can get the takedowns. But you saw what happened to Curtis Blades in the route of getting the takedown against Derek Lewis and against old boy. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I see motherfucker like Curtis Blades more so being able to get in and secure takedowns on a body frame such as Sergey, where Volkov, man, he's just a little bit too frail. You know what I mean? I know he's a heavyweight, but he's just a little bit too frail to get in there and get up under or to really be able to grab a hold of. Like, I don't know that he wants to get into a fucking Muay Thai clinch and get in close to try to sweep or trip Sergey. He might get fucking elbowed, uppercutted, or just hooked right the fuck to sleep. You understand what I'm saying to you? Their body frames. I don't think that Volkov's going to be able to get in there on this man where he needs to be to secure takedowns, to secure that, you know, top control and try to work for that mount and try to work for that ground and pound or work for that submission. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, I just don't see it happening. More times than not, I see Sergey knocking this man clean the fuck out. You know what I mean? Just putting him on skates. As soon as he catches him down the pipe, just putting him on skates. And Volkov just kind of not knowing where he's at. And old boy just swarming in for the finish, man. You know what I mean? But it is heavyweight MMA, so you know how that go. Robert versus motherfucking Ikram, man. I'm still with Robert, man. You know what I mean? I'm still with Robert all day, man. But we can go ahead and talk about this one, man. We can talk about this one. Ikram's in the main event against Robert, you know what I mean? And he gonna have to prove if he deserved that joint or not, man. You know what I mean? He gonna have to prove if he has earned that, you know, that right to serve that, to share that motherfucking cage in a main event. You know, 25 minutes with Robert Whittaker. You gotta prove something on Saturday, man. You know what I mean? 15-1. Right, if I'm not mistaken, against opposition with combined records of 141 wins and 59 losses. You know what I'm saying? 15-1 or 15-0, am I tripping? Either way, it's against opposition with combined records of 141 wins and 59 losses, man. But let's talk about him. He lands about 8 or 9 strikes per minute at a 65% striking accuracy, but he gets hit with about 7 strikes per minute, but only a 36% striking defense. Now that's what we need to talk about, because these statistics are coming from these other individuals that he's fought in the UFC, and his biggest wins are coming over the names of Warley Alvarez and Phil Halls. Now, if you're getting hit with 7 strikes per minute and your striking defense is only a 36%, in these lower level fights, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen to him against Robert Whittaker, man? If you got a 36% striking defense against Phil Halls, Warley Alvarez, and these other individuals that you've already fought in the UFC, what the fuck do you think? If you're getting touched 7 times by these motherfuckers, what do you think's gonna happen to you when Robert Whittaker's on the other side of you, man? You don't want to get touched 7 times, but you can't get touched 7 times by him. 3 times might be a motherfucking, you know what I mean, might be a jab, a straight, and a motherfucking shin to your chin. That might be 3 out of 7 right there, and you might be fucking sleep. Like, come on, man. You can't have a 36% striking defense against these lower level motherfuckers and come in there against somebody of Robert Whittaker's caliber in a main event. In my personal opinion, maybe he comes in there and knocks Robert Whittaker the fuck out in the first 90 seconds, and I gotta chew all this shit up and rub it in my motherfucking chest on Sunday. I highly fucking doubt it, but stranger things have happened, man. Robert Whittaker's 25-7. All right, this boy's 15-1 or 15-0. I think it's 15-1, but whatever. It's against opposition with combined records of 141 wins and 59 losses. Robert Whittaker is 25-7, up against opposition with combined records of 365 wins and only 85 losses. Man, the level of opposition that this young man has been up against, what this young man has been able to do inside that octagon, how he can perform his body of work, and my God, when he shows up. And if you think he's not showing up for this fight, this man was planning on fighting Khamzat Chimaev and getting the dub. He was planning on trying to take that motherfucking O from Khamzat Chimaev. You think he's not going to go in here with all intentions of beating the dog shit out of motherfucking Ikram, man? Come on, man. Robert's gonna fuck this young man up, in my personal opinion, man. He might not knock him the fuck out in the first round or 2, man. But if Ikram's, I don't see it going 5 rounds. I don't see it going 5. Ikram might get knocked the fuck out, man. And if it goes 5 rounds, then Ikram got teed off on, man. Robert Whittaker's wrestling offense, defense, his grappling offense, defense, his striking offense, defense, his power, his speed, his angles, his agility, his movement, his weird and awkward motherfucking ability to create situations on the feet, man. Get the fuck up out of here, man. Ikram got prove shit to me, man. This is a big fucking, you know, this is a big jump, man. This is a big leap. This is a swan dive out the fucking window, in my personal opinion, man. You're coming from beating Phil Halls and Warley Alvarez to a 5-round main event with Robert motherfucking Whittaker, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. He got a whole lot to prove, man. He got a whole lot to prove, man. If you're getting hit, if you got a 36% striking defense against these lower level individuals, you might be in for some fucking trouble against Robert Whittaker, man. Because he is not any of those motherfuckers down there. It's why he's been up here for as long as he's been up here, and he'll be up here until he's no longer here anymore. You understand what I'm saying, too? Because only the elite of the elite are able to get this man the fuck up out of here, man. You know what I mean? And with that being said, you run them things back a couple times, it's going to be different outcomes, man. It's just, I'm a Robert Whittaker fan, man. As you can see, I just ranted. This thing's going to come up on 30, man. Complete pass for the first fight of the night is still Dumas. Complete pass for the third fight of the night is still Kang. It's still Renat. It's still Jared all day. Complete pass, unless we talking about a Lutterbuch dog leg. You know what I'm talking about? It's Calvin, it's Sergey, but this is heavyweight MMA, and it's Robert all day, man. You know what I mean? I'll tap back in a little bit later on with these parlays. Hopefully no more of these fights get canceled, man. Maybe we get lucky, you know what I mean, and they hit us with a bonus fight. you know what I mean, and they rebook somebody with another opponent, you know what I mean, and you know, give us something else, because right now we looking at, I think, 11, we looking at 11 fights, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, stay tapped in, man. Parlays is coming.